Welcome to Techbond's instructional video on how to repair holes and cracks in pipes with a tech patch. Tech patches work on all pipe substrates: PVC, ABS, galvanized, copper, cast iron, even the 21st century pipe HDPE. We must note that tech patches do not work on stainless or alloy steel pipes. We are doing one video for all the pipe substrates because the procedure for applying a tech patch does not change except for HDPE pipe. HDPE pipe as a polymer does require 2 extra steps. Now you'll ask, what about PVC and ABS? PVC and ABS are both copolymers. More co than polymer. They do not need the 2 extra steps. The first thing to cover is the TechPatch Kit, which is everything that you get when you order a tech patch. Of course, you get the patch, and you can order it to the size that you want. You get a piece of sandpaper. Now, that's enough for most jobs, but not for others. It's primarily a reminder that you need to prepare the surface. Then you get the glue squeegee. The glue squeegee is critical. Use that to apply the pressure when you put on the tech patch. Tech patches are an elastomer. That pressure allows it to bond firmly to the pipe substrate. And last, you get instructions, a step-by-step guide on how to apply your tech patch. Tech patches come in different varieties. This is the XT Tech Patch series, which range from 1 to 3 millimeters thick and has a PSI rating of 120. We also have pipeline patches that have a higher rating. The next thing to cover is the type of adhesive kit that you will need, and that depends on the pipe substrate. There are 2 kits: the starter kit and the poly kit. In the starter kit, you get the adhesive and the accelerator. That's enough to apply the patch on ABS, PVC, copper, galvanized, all the pipe substrates except for the HDPE. For the HDPE pipes, you do get the adhesive, the accelerator, but you also get the primer that you need for the HDPE pipes. We're going to start with the repair of PVC pipe that has a crack in it and a hole. Anytime you have a crack, you need to drill a small hole at each end of that crack. That prevents the crack from spreading when it's put back into use, especially if there's pressure in that pipe. Now we will drill the 1/8-inch hole at each end of the pipe. After you drill the hole, it's critical to prepare the substrate down to the bare substrate. You cannot bond a patch to a coating to polish, so you will use sandpaper, an orbital sander, any type of sander to get the surface prepared to accept the patch. Once the surface is prepped, you need to clean that surface. The residue left over from the sanding will interfere with the bond. You use any cleaner that will not leave a residue. Now we have cut our patch to fit. It's going to go over. A patch has a glossy side and a matte side. The adhesive is always applied to the matte side. The next step in the application process is to spray the accelerator in the area that you have just prepped. Then you let the accelerator dry. Then we apply the adhesive to the patch. When you apply the adhesive to the patch, you're going to not apply the adhesive to diagonal corners, which is where you're going to grab and you don't want to get your fingers stuck to the patch. Use concentric circles to apply the adhesive, starting at the edge all the way around. Again, leaving the diagonal edges free and clear from the adhesive. You use concentric circles to apply it in the center with a little more in the center because you want the adhesive to extend beyond the edge of the hole all the way around. Then you take the two diagonal corners, apply tension, and press it on. Use your glue squeegee to apply pressure from the center out. Do that for 10 to 15 seconds. Take the adhesive, apply it all the way around the perimeter. And spray that seam with the accelerator. The pipe is ready to be put back into use. Now we're going to put a patch on HDPE pipe, the pipeline of the 21st century. HDPE is a polymer. With our patented bonding polymer process, we can put a TechPatch on any HDPE pipe. It does take 2 more steps. We prep the surface with sandpaper, an orbital sander, any type of sander. Then we clean that surface with any cleaner that does not leave a residue. The next thing we need to do is to prime the surface with our Poly Prep. It's an adhesion promoter for polymers. You saturate, repeat, saturate that surface area that you're going to apply the patch to. You make it wet. Then let it dry. After the Poly Prep dries, we spray the primed area with the accelerator. We let that dry. After the accelerator is dry, we need to apply heat from any heat source. It can be a hairdryer, it can be a heat gun. By temperature, you want the surface to be 120 degrees Fahrenheit, give or take about 3 degrees. By touch, just below hot. The next step is to apply the adhesive to the patch. Then take the patch, apply tension, and put it over the hole. You apply pressure for 6 to 8 seconds. Then you will take the glue squeegee and apply pressure for 8 to 10 seconds from the center out. After the 8 to 10 seconds of pressure, you will take your adhesive and apply it to the seam all the way around the patch. Then spray the seam with the accelerator. And visually inspect the seam and the patch to make sure that there are no problem areas. Now you're done and ready to put the pipe into use. The next pipe substrate to talk about are the metal pipes. The key with all metal pipes is to prepare the surface down to the bare substrate. With copper and galvanized, you can use sandpaper. With steel, you need to get the seal down to what is called a near white finish, ASTM A780. To do that, you need to either sandblast it, or if you have patience, use an orbital sander. Once it's down to the bare substrate, you clean it, you spray the accelerator, you let it dry, you apply the patch, use a glue squeegee to apply pressure to the patch for the 15 to 20 seconds. Then you apply the adhesive to the perimeter of the patch, spray that with the accelerator, visually inspect, and then you can put the pipe back into use. If you want more information, you can either go to our website, tbbonding.com, or call 877-565-7225. Thank you for your time.